Car companies are shutting off car features remotely. And in Germany, drivers who purchase Lexus vehicles expecting full access to their climate and remote convenience features recently learned a hard lesson about modern car ownership. Features they paid for and relied on were suddenly restricted or unavailable due to regulatory compliance, connectivity limitations, and software control. No broken parts, no worn out hardware, just a digital change that altered how their vehicle functioned. This isn't a mechanical issue, it's a control issue, and it exposes a reality that every American driver needs to understand. Your vehicle may sit in your driveway, your name may be on the title, and your insurance company may recognize you as the owner. But increasingly, critical features inside the vehicle exist in the discretion of software systems, connectivity infrastructure, and regulatory framework. This is not speculation, it's already happening. At the center of the controversy is the evolution of modern vehicles into what the industry calls software defined vehicles. And today's cars are rolling computer networks. They rely on cellular connections, cloud servers, encrypted systems, and regulatory approved software architectures to enable many of their most desirable features. Remote start, climate preconditioning, remote lock and unlock, vehicle tracking, and diagnostic monitoring of all this depends on telematics systems. And these systems connect your car to external servers using cellular networks. And when the connection is disrupted, restricted, or deemed non-compliant, the feature can disappear instantly. Not because your vehicle can't physically perform the function, but because the software layer controlling access has changed. In this particular case, Lexus vehicles in Germany, the parent company of Toyota Motor Company, confirmed that certain connected services were modified due to compliance requirements and infrastructure limitations in their country. While automakers describe these changes as regulatory compliance and technical necessity, consumers experience them very differently. They experience them as lost functionality in vehicles they already paid for. And that distinction matters. For decades, vehicle ownership was simple. When you purchased a car, its features remained available as long as the physical components worked. Heated seats functioned, climate systems operated, remote entry worked. Nothing external could suddenly revoke those capabilities. Software has changed that equation. Now features can be controlled remotely, enabled remotely, and disabled remotely. This is not limited to Lexus or to Germany. It's a direct result of regulatory shifts, telecommunications changes, and the automotive industry's rapid transition towards software-controlled functionality. Europe has implemented strict cybersecurity standards, requiring automakers to certify the security of connected vehicle systems. These regulations were created to protect consumers from hacking, data theft, and unauthorized vehicle access. These goals are legitimate, and modern vehicles contain millions of lines of code and dozens of interconnected electronic modules. Cybersecurity vulnerabilities could pose real safety risks, but cybersecurity compliance comes with consequences. Older telematics hardware may not meet new regulatory requirements, and legacy communication systems may no longer qualify under updated security protocols. So what happens then is automakers must either redesign the system, retrofit the vehicles, or discontinue connected features. And in many cases, they discontinue the feature. Telematics infrastructure adds another layer of vulnerability. Cellular carriers worldwide have been shutting down their older 2G and 3G networks. These older networks supported telematics systems in millions of vehicles built in the past 10 to 15 years. And once those networks disappear, vehicles relying on them lose the connectivity. No connectivity means no remote functionality. And this transition has already affected multiple brands, multiple countries, and millions of vehicles globally. The large issue is not just about connectivity, it's about control. When vehicle functionality depends on external servers, regulatory approval, and software authorization, the owner is no longer the sole authority over what the vehicle can do. Automakers maintain technical control, and regulators maintain legal control. Telecommunication providers maintain infrastructure control, and the owner becomes dependent on all three of these. This represents a fundamental shift in the nature of vehicle ownership. Automakers have also introduced subscription-based features that reinforce this model. Remote start, heated seats, advanced driver assistance systems, and performance upgrades are increasingly offered as software-enabled services rather than permanent hardware functions. From a corporate perspective, this creates recurring revenue streams. From a technical perspective, it allows automakers to manage features dynamically. From a consumer perspective, it introduces a new layer of uncertainty. Features are no longer guaranteed indefinitely. Organizations such as the World Economic Forum have openly discussed how connectivity, software, and digital ecosystems are transforming ownership models across industries. Vehicles are among the most visible examples of this transformation. The auto industry is following the same path as smartphones, computers, and other connected devices. Software defines functionality. Companies specializing in large-scale data infrastructure, including Palantir Technologies, demonstrate how digital systems can monitor, manage, and analyze vast networks of connected endpoints. While consumers may not see this infrastructure, it exists behind the scenes, enabling everything from software updates to system diagnostics. Your vehicle is now part of the connected ecosystem, whether you like it or not. And this connectivity provides real benefits. Software updates can improve safety, enhance performance, and fix problems quickly. And automakers can correct defects without requiring physical recalls. Advanced driver assistance systems can improve over time, and diagnostics can identify problems early. But connectivity also introduces dependency, and the Lexus situation illustrates how quickly functionality can change when regulatory requirements, telematics infrastructure, or software support shifts. Many consumers assume that once you buy a car, its functionality remains fixed. That assumption no longer holds true. Modern vehicles are governed as much by software authorization by mechanical capability. This raises legitimate consumer protection questions. How long will connected car features remain supported? What happens when telecommunications infrastructure changes? What obligations do automakers have to maintain functionality? What rights do consumers have when features are disconnected? These questions do not yet have any universally consistent answers, and automakers include terms and conditions that define connected services as optional and subject to change. Regulatory compliance requirements can override existing functionality. Infrastructure changes can make continued support impractical. From a legal standpoint, automakers often retain the authority to modify connected services. From a consumer standpoint, that reality can come as a surprise. The United States is not immune to these trends. American vehicles use the same telematics architecture and rely on the same cellular infrastructure and operate under evolving cybersecurity and emissions regulations. Remote start, remote climate control, app-based vehicle access are now standard features across multiple price segments. These features exist within the same software-controlled ecosystem. The transition toward electric vehicles will also accelerate the trend even further. Electric vehicles rely more heavily on software to manage battery systems, charging, thermal management, and performance optimization. Software updates play a critical role in maintaining that functionality. Connectivity is no longer optional. It's fundamental. This does not mean that automakers or regulators are acting with malicious intent. Cybersecurity protections are necessary. Software updates improve safety. Infrastructure upgrades improve performance and reliability. But it does mean the traditional concept of vehicle ownership is evolving. Ownership now exists alongside software governance. The Lexus situation in Germany serves as a warning signal, not because of one specific feature, but because it demonstrates the technical capability to alter vehicle functionality remotely. That capability exists across the industry already, and most drivers have never considered this reality. Increasingly, ownership equals access. Access governed by software, connectivity, and compliance. Consumers should not panic, but they should pay attention. When purchasing a modern vehicle, buyers should understand which features depend on connectivity, how long those features are supported, and what happens if that supporting infrastructure changes. Software-defined vehicles are here to stay. Connectivity will continue expanding. Regulatory oversight will continue evolving, and convenience will continue increasing. But so will complexity. The automotive industry is entering a new era, one where the most important component of your vehicle is no longer under the hood. It's in the software. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.